welcome back. In this video, I will show you how to animate hair and spine. We will go over key techniques such as creating a bone structure, setting up a mesh for smooth movement, and bind bones to the layer. I will also share useful tips such as wave effect to make the animation look more natural and dynamic. It's important to understand that today we will focus specifically on autonomous animation, where the character is animated but does not perform any actions, just breathing. In this case, we can apply the wave effect. However, when the character is dynamic and active, you will need to set up physics for the hair bones and other elements. Unfortunately, I have an older version of the program and cannot demonstrate this. So let's get started. Let's start from the beginning, namely with creating the mesh. To do this, you need to enable these two parameters and then use the available tools. For quick layer tracing, use the trace parameter setting an approximately medium number of points along the contour. I create points inside for future 3 depth animation. If you are here specifically to learn how to animate hair, then don't do this. To ensure smooth hair movement, avoid certain cases by adding at least one more point. To add points manually, use the create parameter. To move them, use modify. To switch between these 3 parameters, right-click on an empty area. At this stage, everything is simple, so I will finish the rest of the mesh quickly. The next thing we are going to do is create the skeletal system for the hair. All hair bones will originate from the head bone. To create a bone, select the bone tool, choose the head bone from which the chain will originate, and drag while holding the mouse button. To create a point bone, simply click. Creating a point bone is not necessary, but in some situations it may be more convenient. Make sure that each new bone in the chain is attached to the previous one. For some hair layers, I created 2 bone chains, but with this layer width, it is not necessary either. Now you know how to create bones for the hair. So let me create the bones for all the hair layers. We've made quite a mess here. Now, we need to bind everything to the hair. Binding bones is also quite simple. Select the weight parameter, choose the layer, and click the bind tool. Then, attach all the necessary bones. You might encounter an issue where only one bone gets attached. This happens due to the program not correctly recognizing bone placement. Check if any bones are interfering with each other. You can check this using the weight parameter by clicking on the layer after binding the bone. Finally, we have reached the animation stage. Go to the animation field and select your bone chain from the first to the last bone, either manually using the shift button or in the tree window using the shift button. Select the rotate tool. While holding the left mouse button in an empty area, drag to bend the chain to the desired amplitude. The animation keys have appeared in the timeline window. Next, you need to create an animation loop. To do this, move the slider forward and bend in the opposite direction. Then, copy the keys from the first bend, move the slider further, and paste the keys. I copied the loop 3 times. You should end up with these keys. Don't forget to add a smooth graph on the keys. The next tool we will explore is offset. In short, it scrolls keys along the timeline. With its help, we can create a wave effect. The tool required a looped animation, so make sure you have at least identical keys at the beginning and end. Let's get down to business. Select the chain from the first to the last bone. In timeline window, click on the offset tool and set the keys in a stepped manner. Very important to start making the steps from the first to the last bone. I'm saying this because sometimes the selected bones in the timeline are upside down, and you might start making the steps from the last bone. In that case, you will get a reversed animation, which is not suitable for hair. Let's try it on the hair. I made a simple body animation based on the wave effect principle. It's easier to bend everything first and only then use the offset tool. After that, we make the already known steps system. The next thing you might encounter is that the hair moves synchronously with the body in one direction. This is unnatural. All we need to do is shift all the hair keys. I'll do it for half a cycle as I usually do. This is the animation I ended up with. Please don't judge too harshly, as it was done in a hurry. I put a lot of effort into it and hope it helped you understand this craft. If I missed something, I'll try to answer your questions in the comments. See ya!